Do you know that most real estate deals are lost not because the client in particular is not willing to buy, but it's because the realtor involved in that transaction stopped following up. So a lot of times, realtors feel that once a client reaches out to them at that first instant and the client does not buy, it means that the client is not interested in property. That's a big fat lie. A lot of times, people delay because one, they still need more information about that property. Two, they are discussing that property with family or friends. Three, they are still comparing options. Four, is that possibly the money they are waiting for is not yet in their account. Number five is that, you know, sometimes they are usually very busy. So it skips their mind that, oh, they actually chatted someone, concerning the property. So having that notion that a client must pay at that first instance is actually very, very false. Now, these are what I do to follow up. This is my own strategy of how I do to follow up, right? Now, the first strategy is that I respond very fast. Once a client reaches out to you, ensure that in the space of 5 to 15 minutes, that chat is being responded to, especially those that run ads. Always stay online. I always tell people this. I always tell realtors this. Ensure that your data is not, turned off. It is always on. My data is always on. So once message pops into my phone, I ensure that the first 15 minutes I respond to them. Why do I do this? Why is speed very important? It is because you are not the only realtor that the client is seeing. So if the realtor reaches out to you and in the space of 10 to 15 minutes, he doesn't get a response, he moves to the next realtor. I have seen this happen a lot of times, even in my office. How a client will chat more than three realtors. He chatted the first realtor, and then due to the sluggishness of the first realtor, he moves to the next realtor available. And then that's how that realtor loses out on that deal. So ensure that you respond very fast. Whether it's a chat, it's a call, ensure that you respond very fast. Number two is that I don't just follow up, I add value. I don't just follow up because I need to follow up. In as much as following up is good, ensure that you add value. So instead of something like this, good morning, sir. Have you made up your mind? What's your conclusion on what we discussed the last time? I say something like this. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? So concerning what we discussed the last time about the land, I made a video that explains more about the property. So that's a value. That's a value package you're sending to the client. So instead of just following up, ensure that you add value. And lastly, one of the ways I also follow up is that I follow up indirectly by being very visible, especially those ones that, landed on your WhatsApp, platform. Ensure that you're very visible through your WhatsApp status. Let them see you that, you are in this business, because a lot of times, most of them might not, take you serious at that first instance. Somebody might just write to you that I am interested in this property, and then the person will just ghost you. But unknowing to you that the person is, researching about you, viewing your status without you even knowing. So you just have to stay visible so that the person will see that actually you're a very serious realtor. That way, you can still close the deal even without directly following up with the client. So ensure that you respond fast, you add value, not just following, and then you are very, very visible. So if you're a young realtor watching this video right now, ensure that you send me a DM. Let's talk on how you can build your brand, your personal brand, right? And also make millions selling real estate business. My name is Solomon Ibuhu. See you on the next video. Bye for now.